There we go.
Gotta put in the super secret password before I can put the game capture back on. There we go.
Okay, right. So, it looks to me as if the Ryders are considering using a squid. Ryders, obviously, been very successful using squids thus far because they haven't lost a match yet in this whole tournament, ever. So,
now, I'm gonna
obviously, anything they do works.
We almost had them last week. 5-4 Cake Watch match.
Really?
Yeah, Igtril had me on basically hard counter against that squid, taking Watch of Fish against it, and we did very well. We were winning, actually, for most of the match, but we screwed up because I didn't attack the squid.
Ah.
The Mobula did all the killing. I just kept the squid at bay, and that galleon was nothing to Igtril, but they got some good moves on me, got me wedged between buildings, some good disables on me, got stuck, and that squid did some serious damage to our Mobula.
Well, I guess it's the turn of the next hapless cake captain to out of the bakery, into the fire, into the oven.
Into the oven.
Yes, definitely. Ryders will give you a trial by fire. Yes, definitely 4-5. Probably the closest we've seen so far to the Ryders actually being beaten here. I mean, what will it take to take down these Ryders?
Well, we did certainly swap out my amazing pilot skills for those of an even more amazing pilot, Muse Josie. Josie being one of our more experienced competitive pilots here for Cake. So that's going to make for an interesting fight. But right now, looking at this match, I see some very familiar faces in this lobby.
Certainly, Dementio is about as familiar on this competitive scene as it gets. Torasuki, golly, a long-time gentleman member, looks to be crewing for the Ryders this match. Certainly, DJ Logicala, I believe that is the leader of the
He is the leader of Bards.
Yes, I got it right. There we go.
You get a cookie.
There we go. I get a cookie, and getting a cookie from Cake is quite a thing, a real badge of honor.
It's like a medal of honor.
As it were. Indeed, a cookie-shaped medal-shaped cookie. Yes, Ryders have not quite fully assembled. Well, they didn't expect to be playing this early, did they? I thought they were just going to be able to diddle around for a bit.
Yeah, they had maybe 1-2 matches, just sit out for a little bit, get some practice in, maybe just sit there with a nice cup of chocolate, watch a stream, and watch
of chocolate?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I call a cup of hot chocolate. Because I don't really put anything else other than molten chocolate.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, what? How do you drink your hot chocolate? With like big powder stuff and add water? Oh, you water that stuff down? No, I go to the kitchen, I get a bar of chocolate, melt that thing down in a cup, and that's how you do it.
and then let it set, and then just kind of awkwardly try and bite it out of the cup.
Oh yeah.
You know, hardcore style.
You throw that thing right in a microwave, melt it down. You finish the whole cup. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital for a diabetic attack.
Yeah, but it'll have been worth it.
It'll all have been worth it because you just downed a whole cup worth of melted chocolate. Might also add, don't do it. I did try doing that. It hardened on my throat. I actually did need to go to a hospital.
Oh my god, you actually did it!
I actually did do this. Because you know, like I use the ice cream stuff. Like, yeah, I top it and it makes like a nice hard candy. That stuff doesn't like your lungs. It does not like it at all.
No. Well, I suppose you learned a valuable life lesson.
I didn't learn shit. I'm still gonna do it.
Okay. Well, while Admiral Obvious continues to throw his precious youth away, it seems the Ryders have now ticked up.
And
they're
we have
ready
less
to
than
go.
1 minute remaining on this match timer. And keep in mind, we have 15 seconds once the match starts till everyone loads in. There's a mandatory no moving period in this 15 seconds. All players get in there. No one's allowed to move, or penalties will be enforced, although they haven't yet. I say that because I moved last week very fast. I got right to that helm. I was like, gotta get moving! And I realized they were yelling at me.
Well, in any event, less than 30 seconds to go. It's happening. Let's see. It looks like going for a Watcher Spire here on the Bards team. And looks some kind of a long-range galleon. Going to duke it out with the Suchenda. Now, as we've seen before, the gunners on that Suchenda are extraordinarily accurate. We have seen the gunners on that Suchenda hit a squid moving at full speed with a heavy flak from like halfway across the map. We've seen it.
Full extension of the map.
Through like a hole. I'm serious. There's video evidence of it.
I do not doubt it for a second.
This is how good the gunners are on that Suchenda are. So I'm going to... Interesting that they've tried to kind of match galleons with them. We'll see how well that goes momentarily.
All right, but kicking off on the map, Canyon Ambush, map dominated by very open spaces to the north and south and spawns, with some very labyrinth-style map in the middle. Now, starting off with the red team, we have the Galleon, the Muse Kafka's Hair Gel, piloted by DJ Logicalia. The Galleon packing lumber, flak, and Hades on port, with Carronade and Hwacha on starboard. Ship number 2 for this match is the Not a Duck, a Spire piloted by Nano Duckling. It is a Hwacha Spire packing Gatling mortar and mortars on top deck. Go ahead, Brick, for ship number 3.
All right, and on the Fancy Guardian, it's a top deck mine launcher, far left flare gun, far right Artemis, bottom deck Artemis Gatling. And on the Suchenda, the grand old Suchenda, it's a left side Hades, heavy flak, lumberjack, rear flare, right side, heavy carronade, and Hwacha. And it looks like the blue team are heading right. Oh, it's ring around the rosy already.
Alrighty, looks like the Not a Duck and the Hair Gel taking the center of the map right now. They're going through the center lane of the canyon and heading more to the west as well as the Suchender and the Fancy Guardian. Take the right side, thin little alley, trying to get an attempted flank. Although when two teams attempt to flank, you just get nothing.
Circling the toilet bowl, as Kirk so delightfully put it.
This is why I don't listen to him.
You joined his blooming clan.
Yeah. Not only that, but I'm an officer of recruitment in his bloody clan.
Oh, that must be a difficult job.
That's amazing.
In any event, it seems like the Suchenda and the Guardian looks like they're almost making a beeline for the red team now. It's almost as if they know on some weird level, hopefully they're not stream watching,
I'm watching
that something's up here.
Looks like the Suchender is about to take a bit of a turn to the north, pressing into red team spawn a little bit here as the Not a Duck and Kafkas make a move into the blue team spawn. Looks like both teams have just swapped sides.
Also, oh my god, on the other stream, Cakewatch have just beaten Musasaur's 5-0.
Yeah, baby, that's how we do
No,
it.
Sorry, I got that the wrong way around.
Aw.
Muse beat Cakewatch 5-0. My apologies, I got that the wrong way around.
Aww. Oh well, the Not a Duck right now getting battered by the Fancy Guardian and the Suchender right now. Wait, were you serious?
Yeah, I'm deadly serious.
Oh.
Muse beat Cakewatch 5-0.
Alright, someone's getting yelled at for this one.
Well, in any event, as Muse continue their ascendancy, Fancy Guardian descending below this cover here. Thank you very much, that was brilliant. Not a Duck and Fancy Guardian on either side of this giant stone finger. Kafka's Hair Gel is not in the right position to get anything done right now, sort of reversing, hoping to get their guns in arc. Both teams have room to maneuver.
It looks like
both the Fancy Guardian...
Oh.
Fancy Guardian firing on the Kafka's Hair Gel. Now Kafka's Hair Gel turning its guns to face the Fancy Guardian.
Artemis Fire going out against the red team's Galleon. Not a Duck trying to move in on the blue team's Galleon. However, Lumber Shots taking out that balloon. Not a Duck extending a little bit too far from the cover of its Galleon, which is forced now to back up.
Oh dear, I don't know if this is a good idea. Not a Duck exposing himself completely to the arcs of the Suchenda. Gatling going down on Not a Duck. I think this is a huge mistake for Not a Duck.
Indeed, Not a Duck losing hull armor and taking about 40% of its armor down. Fancy Guardian laying in some Artemis Fire, taking out even more of that Not a Duck's health,
big
sinking it
shot.
at a 0-1 lead so far for blue.
Once you've committed with that Spire, and that's it. And it just did not work out well for them.
Did not indeed. With the Spire, you have to go or not go, but with the Kafka's Hair Gel heavily decided by Artemis File, by the Fancy Guardian, there was little they could do to support their teammate.
Nan, the Artemis here is suppressing those big guns of the Kafka's Hairgel. Kafka's Hairgel wisely backing out, using this giant stone pillar for cover. Just hoping not a duck can get back to them in time. But now Suchenda has the angles on the Kafka's Hairgel. Balloon is down on the Kafka's Hairgel. Here comes the Gatling.
Fancy Garden laying out those Artemi, breaking that armor and taking down some of the health as the Kafka's Hairgel takes a small tap into the Rocky Spire on the right, losing about 10% health as that armor comes back up. Mine's going out to keep that Hairgel from coming back and making a bit of a counterattack.
Kafka's Hairgel did manage to kind of bounce through that little gap with Fountain, taking only minor perma-hull damage. I'm quite impressed. That was really lucky from the Kafka's Hairgel.
And now to give their teammates some cover, the Not a Duck has respawned, laying down some Gatling fire and watches on the Fancy Guardian as Such Ender squares off against the Kafka's Hairgel.
And now Suchenda taking some glancing fire, but no substantial damage. However, the Suchenda has got angles on Not a Duck, and so is the Fancy Guardian. Oh my god, look at all that damage, and the Spire goes down.
The Spire goes down, heavy mines laid out in that little cove right there. Kafka's Hairgel taking the side angle right now, though still paired up against the Such Ender. Watch a burst going out as its balloon is weakened by lumberjack shots from the Such Ender. Trying to back up now and get under that hard cover, waiting for that Spire to respawn a second time.
The Ryders going to press the advantage and risk getting caught by the it doesn't look like they really even need to. Suchenda only has to move a little bit to get back in arcs to the Kafka's Hairgel. The Kafka's Hairgel's balloons down. It looks like they're caught. Oh dear, they are caught on that little rocky outcropping. A few more big lumber hits, a few more big flak hits. It'll be all over for the Kafka's Hairgel. Here we go.
Indeed, Such Ender and Fancy Guardian not letting up here. The Galleon falls to Artemis and Gatling fire at the Fancy Guardian, though no small assistance by the Such Ender's lumberjack, bottoming out that Galleon.
I just don't think this Spire was the right choice. I mean, it really just relies on being on the perfect position to get a good Hwacha barrage off on the Suchenda. But usually by the time it gets there, that Mobula's taken out its guns, or it's exposed, it's in the wrong position. It's relying on a very specific set of circumstances that just aren't happening.
Indeed, looks like the Not a Duck trying to just duck back now, get behind some Rocky Spire as the Fancy Guardian Such Ender try and make almost like a pincer maneuver, moving around both sides of it. Lumberjack and
very nicely, very nicely done here. Suchenda ducks back into cover as the Fancy Guardian comes around the other side. Not a Duck's permahull is already exposed.
Kafka's Hairgel coming in for support, ramming hard into the Fancy Guardian, laying down some Hwacha fire, getting some good disables on that Mobula.
Fancy Guardian passing through that short-range side of the Kafka's Hairgel, but only getting glancing damage. Oh, and now Not a Duck is in a terrible position. 2-on-1 against the Fancy Guardian, the Suchenda. They're going to last barely seconds if they're lucky.
Armor break taking the Not a Duck down to just 1%, 2% of their final hull health. Not a
good
Duck
Hwacha barrage as well. Kafka's Hairgel destroying almost all those guns on the Suchenda. However, the Fancy Guardian takes down the Not a Duck. Can Kafka's Hairgel manage a quick kill here?
Oh, they have to with a 4-0 lead by the Ryders here. This Kafka's Hairgel is very exposed, being solo against these two ships that have relentlessly pursued it.
Did you see the Kafka's Hairgel spreading a bit of fire across the engines and guns of the Fancy Guardian? Kafka's Hairgel desperately trying to stay alive here. But Kafka's Hairgel took a bump! What is Kafka's Hairgel? Is Kafka's Hairgel trying to Goomba stomp the Suchenda?
I do believe so, trying to ram that Galleon into the ground, which is still sitting at full health. Not exactly the most ideal situation here for them as Artemis Fire and Gatling rip into that Galleon hull, taking out about 5%, 20% additional hull from the Hairgel.
Suchenda's in big trouble here. Not a Duck coming in from behind. Not a Duck looks like it might be interested in a ram here. Spire ram! But it was glancing! Oh my goodness.
Just a glancing ram against the Not a Duck as armor goes down on the Not a Duck, taking out quite a good chunk of their health. Fancy Guardian not letting up, however. Artemis shots and Gatling fire take out just about every single gun the Not a Duck has available.
Armor stripped on the Not a Duck. Kafka's Hairgel though. Oh, Kafka's Hairgel just received a massive Hwacha barrage, taking out pretty much everything. I think this could be it now. Fancy Guardian continuing to disable the guns, and the Not a Duck's armor strip. Not a Duck's heading straight for the Fancy Guardian. This could be it. Mobula Ram!
Mobula Ram, Artemis still going out, taking out the last of the hull, and Bards fall to the Ryders, 5-0.
Oh, it looked like they might have been able to kind of pull it back from the brink there, but just another impressive 5-0 victory from the Ryders.
Indeed, they definitely had the chance there as their Spire respawned in familiar territory there for the Bards. But again, the Ryders just dominating there with heavy disables by that Artemis and just giving the Bards a hard time to try and make a comeback.